Hi everybody, Lydia here with Build Show Network, and today we're going to kind of get into automatic tool setup. I think something that people wrestle with when you are in the drywall finishing trade is, do I upgrade to these tools? Do I spend the money on boxes, on a tube, on pumps? So I'm going to kind of run you through our setup that we bring on every single job, what we have, and kind of some generic prices. These aren't hard prices. I'm just kind of going to give you some ideas of what everything costs. So very first thing is going to be the automatic tube. So that is this guy right here. This is going to be your most expensive tool if you do decide to get into automatic tools. There are a lot of different brands. This is North Star, it's carbon fiber, it has a detachable head. Overall, it's just a really, really nice tube, super smooth. This guy is going to run you, I think, around anywhere between $1,700 to $1,900 just for this tool. So when you are looking at investing, think about that. There's a lot of other options, a lot of other tool manufacturers that aren't as expensive as this. North Star is kind of like the Louis Vuitton of taping tools, but definitely worth it. This tube has run like a dream since we got it. And it's important to remember too, when you are buying these tools, they will have maintenance. So typically with the footage that we run, we're going through a tube about every 3 to 4 years, sometimes sooner, depending on how much work we have. Because what happens is these gears start to run down, you gotta replace cables, all sorts of things in the tools. So you can buy repair kits, you can always get these rebuilt. We don't throw them away, we always keep them, and then have an extra one on hand in case they go down or something happens. But this guy is gonna be your most expensive tool. And then what goes along with the tube is a pump. Now, to fill the tube and a lot of the tools that we're going to be talking about with this automatic tool setup, you need pumps. So this is a special pump by North Star. It's kind of like a highboy, but the pump shaft is all the way down here. Just has a really nice long handle, so you're not straining to be pumping real low with these smaller ones. Absolutely personal choice, kind of just depends on what you want. But it is important that you have a gooseneck. So that tube over there goes on the gooseneck, and then it leans, and then that's how you fill it. So you can go directly into the pump if you so choose to fill. Almost everybody has a gooseneck attachment. So this pump with the gooseneck attachment, I think is running about anywhere between $400 to $500. I could be a little high on that, but this is kind of a specialty pump. Again, it's a North Star, so super fantastic pump. We've been thrilled with it. Now, when we move on to filling boxes and angle boxes and other different tools you're gonna need, well, you can use this pump because you can change it out, but we tend to run 2 pumps. So we have a gooseneck pump and then we have a box pump. So this one right here has a box filler on it. That is something that most pumps come with, and then you can take that out and then it's just round inside so you can fill your angle box. But typically we're running 2 pumps. It just makes things easier. You're not having to grab your wrench out every time, take off the gooseneck and switch whatever you're using with. These can pretty much last a very, very long time. We've had pumps that have lasted probably like 10, 15 years. Some of the seals will kind of wear out, and that's a really easy fix. There's just a seal in here, and then there's a seal right here for this guy. And you know, we tend to not take these attachments off, so we're not constantly moving that seal and breaking that seal. But it's kind of just up to you and how you want to run your tools. But this is our setup, so this is for boxes and angle boxes. And then this guy we save only for automatic tools, and we just run and bring these 2 pumps onto every job. We also run boxes. So for our automatic tool setup, we're running the bazooka or the automatic tube. We've got our pumps, and then we've got our boxes. So the boxes coat the flats, the bazooka puts on the tape, the pumps fill the tools. So typically we are running a 10 and a 12 on our flats, and then we'll go to a 14 if we're doing a smooth wall, kind of just depending how the board's going and how everything's looking. So these are our 2 boxes. We also have a lot of these that are extra because they do take maintenance. One goes down, you kind of always have it back up, and these are all rebuildable too. So pretty much the nice thing about all of these really expensive tools is you can fix them and you can rebuild them, and then you can kind of swap parts out and make sure that they're running well. So this is our 12-inch box, and North Star has a multi one, so this can run a 12 or a 14-inch blade housing. We just have the 12 on there right now. And when I'm saying 12, it's the amount of inches that the box is. So this is a 12-inch box. So it's from here to here is 12 inches. And then this one is an 8-inch box with a 10-inch housing on there. Again, you can swap this out. You can run an 8 or a 10. So it's kind of cool. You can run a couple different boxes if you're wanting to kind of mess around with some sizes. Not all boxes do this. Most boxes are typically just either a 10, 12, 8, 14, 5, kind of whatever that is. But these are boxes and we use them for flats and butts. So if you are running boxes, choose to go that way. I forgot to talk about price with these guys. I believe they're running anywhere between 3 to 6, maybe. It's probably a little high. I want to say maybe about 3 to 5, somewhere around there. But you have to have a box handle to run the box. So the box handles slip on the back of the box like this, and then you can run your box. You can't run a box without a box handle, but there are a lot of different box handle options. This one's just kind of a little guy. It's extendable, has an extendable handle here. This one also has an extendable handle. There are different types of brakes you can buy, different sizes. There's one that's real short, that's only about there. That's real nice for like being close or running corner bead. So I would suggest you kind of start off with about 2 handle sizes, shorter one, longer one. Obviously, this one's not going to work out great for 9 foot, but it works wonderfully for 8 foot. And then this guy would be for our 9 foot. And then there's even longer ones for when you're doing like 12, 14 feet and cathedral ceilings. So this is the angle box or corner box, as people like to call them. This is a 7-inch box. They come in a variety of sizes. So again, it's going this way for how big the box is. We use this for coating our angles, boxing our angles, and we have an angle head attached to it. And this angle head is a 3.5. So angle heads and any kind of angle tools, those are kind of going to be some of your most expensive little items. Like that angle head like this is about $350 to $450 for one size. And typically on a job, we use 2 to 3 sizes. So depending on what level of finish we're going, we can do 2, 2.5, 3. Sometimes it's a 2.5, 3, 3.5. So we increase our coat sizes as we're going when we're feathering out those angles. So angle heads can be a little bit of an investment, especially if you're not familiar with them. They can be tricky to run, but the nice thing is, again, you can change out the blade housings. You can change out, stuff in the angle head if you're having some problems with it. There are some minor adjustments that you can also make. You can always repair it and fix it. We've got a bunch of them. We just kind of hold on to them. You can get them rebuilt along with a lot of the other tools. So you'll always have it. It is the initial investment, but you can kind of just keep adding to it and use it for other things, and just make sure that you keep it good and you get it rebuilt when the time comes. Corner box, they last forever. We have one that I think is like 25 years old. They're pretty simple machines, not too expensive. And then again, you can get a bent handle like we have here or a straight handle, but typically the boxes come with the handles kind of like as a whole package deal. But that is the angle box and then the angle head. Now, something else that goes along with the angles and angle tools are a roller and a glazer. So this is why we have so many angle heads. We typically have one that's on our glazer pole, which we do with wet tape. These are getting used today. We're obviously taping the job. So this roller puts the tape in, and then the angle head goes over the tape and glazes the tape. So these guys, we typically have an older angle head that we're using for glazing, and this is the only thing that it's used for. And that angle head that's on the angle box is only used for finishing angles. So that's something that we do to kind of make sure our tools are staying really nice, crisp, clean. When you're doing, new taping, sometimes you can run into clickers in the angle where the screws are sticking out and can nick your blades. So we tend to only use a very specific one for when we're taping. Rollers, super simple. And these are all on just adjustable handles here. So you can twist and adjust as you use them for different heights, closets, all that stuff. But these guys are great. Even if you're not running automatic, you can still use these in conjunction with hand taping. So these guys are always a great option. These are our corner bead tools. There's also a corner bead head attachment that you can run on the angle box. Kind of just depends on how we're feeling with what we're running. This is just a Trimtex mud hopper. So you fill it with mud and just slide the bead through. Pretty cool, it's super simple to use. We use this one a lot. And then we've got this corner roller right here. It just rolls on the bead. So this one is a no coat roller. You should use it with no coat. If you're installing Trimtex, use a Trimtex roller. If you're installing Clark Dietrich, use the Clark Dietrich rollers. All of the specific ones have specific rollers. So these are ones you can kind of get a lot accumulated with, but make sure you're using the right one with the right corner bead. The hoppers, interchangeable. You can kind of use any kind of tape on bead through this, but we install tape on bead. So this is our setup that we bring on every job. And of course, you can't forget a drill. This is our Makita drill. It is a variable speed chuck drill. It's just a 120 volt drill, and then your beater bar goes in there, and then you whip up your buckets. We always have this guy on us. There are a lot of really good cordless options. We just haven't made the move yet to that. We just still kind of just are old school and like the corded version. But this guy comes on every job, of course, because if you can't mix mud, you can't work. And then last but not least are, something to stand up with. These are my stilts. And then, we bring our triggers or step ups or whatever you guys call them. We call them triggers. So this would be like the 3-foot trigger or the 3-footer. And then these are my stilts, and they come in a variety of different sizes. So not all of these things are automatic tools. It's kind of just our setup and how we're running. They're a little interchangeable. Some are semi-auto, some are fully auto. Kind of just depends on what you kind of have dialed down that works best for you. So all of these tools come on every job. It's pretty much what we do the entire job with is right here, of course, pans, knives, and some other small hand tools. But big tool wise, this is what comes on, and this is what we're pulling out and using on every single job that we're doing. So that's it for me this week. I hope it kind of explains some tools that could really speed up the process. I mean, right now we just finished 16,000 feet in about 4 days. There was 3 of us. No way we're doing that without using tubes, boxes, and a lot of the automatic tools that we use that speed up finishing. So if you are looking into getting into them, there's some options that you can find that a little on the lower end. You can start simple with, just a pump and a couple boxes, see if you like it and see if it speeds things up for you. Obviously, we're working on new residential construction, so it's a must-have for us. We're not going to get the footage done without those tools. So again, kind of pick and choose. You don't have to run everything. Some guys, hand tape but then run boxes, and kind of, you can kind of pick and choose what you want to do and what fits out best for you financially, because these tools are quite the investment. So that is it for me this week. You can follow me on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And I will catch you guys next week.